Hi guys, today I'm gonna film my phlebotomy state test experience. I live in California, so I took the NCC test. My test was 150 questions and I literally took 3 hours doing my test. I'm making this video more for the people who are just wondering and are curious or are about to take their test. Because when I was about to take my test, I was very nervous. I wanted to know what was on the test, what I should study for. I'm also making this video because when I found out when I was going to test, I wanted to find out what to study for. So I started looking online, I started looking on YouTube, I started looking everywhere to see, who could help me or what I could find. But I did find a couple videos, but they really didn't have any information as to what to study for. And I really want to help somebody out there because the test is kind of hard, but at least knowing some questions that might be in the test might help you guys. One thing I recommend you guys to do is use flashcards, use notes, use the test that your teachers have given you. My way of doing my flashcards was I would put like a test name, like let's say a CBC, and in the back of it I would write lavender instead of just doing like lavender in the front and like a whole group of tests that go in a lavender tube in the back. You get what I'm saying? That way you get like one-on-one practice on what test you need to learn. So that's exactly what I did, and that really helped me a lot. It really came in handy. So I'm telling you guys, whatever helps you guys study, go for it, because the more you study, the more you know, and the more you know, the less panicked and unaware you're gonna be the day of the test. So I recommend you guys study. Don't wait until the last day, because at the end of the day you have to study for about a week for your to get the absorption you need in order to ace that test. And I hope you guys really like this video or find anything helpful, anything at all. And let's get right into it. You have to know your order of draw. That is very important as to whatever kind of phlebotomy job you're trying to do, clinics, labs, hospitals, whatever. You have to know your order of draw. So I really highly recommend, if you don't know it, get to it, because that is very important and it is gonna be on the test. So the next thing that I would really recommend is to know what tests go in what tubes. You have to know what tests go on what tubes. That is very important. You also have to know what additives go in what tubes. You have to know if the tubes are serum or plasma. You have to know that as well. You need to know your needle gauges. You need to know the sizes, which ones are bigger, which ones are smaller, which ones will you use on a baby, which ones would you use on an older person. Know your baby test. Know like the right depth to poke a baby's heel, and know the area where you would poke, like the name of the area where you would poke like a heel. Know your important tests, like which ones would go first, which ones would go second. Know that your stat is always first, and then after that, which one goes next. Like you have your ASAP, you have your blood cultures, you have your routines, you have all of that stuff. So you want to know which ones you would perform first and which ones you would take more priority in, and that's what you need to know, because that is going to be on the test. Know what tests have to be chilled, and know which ones have to be warm. Know which ones have to be protected from light. Know your different corporations, like your CLSI, your OSHA, your Joint Commission. Know all of that stuff. Know the difference to them, because you will have questions on that. If it's even 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, you're still gonna have some questions on that. So it's better to know than not to know. Know what HIPAA stands for and what you should and shouldn't do with HIPAA. Know your PPE. Know how to put it on. Know how to remove it correctly. It is very crucial to your safety and to other people's safety. So you need to know how to put on your PPE and remove it. So really become familiar with that, because it is very important, not only for the test, but for when you are working. You don't want to harm anybody or harm yourself. Know the different kinds of contaminations, like airborne, droplet, etc. You need to know that. Tourniquet application is very important as well, because if you leave on the tourniquet for too long, you cause hemoconcentration. You need to know what is the perfect time and what time you cannot go above with the tourniquet. So know that as well. This is all I have to say. Take your time. Take an educated guess if you are gonna guess, because there was some questions that I had that I didn't understand. I'm telling you guys, it is okay to, you know, guess, but don't just take a dumb guess and be like, oh, well, I just want to finish this test, whatever, A or whatever. No, take an educated guess. Which one? Cross two of them out. You'll be left with two. You'll have a little bit more of a chance to get the right answer. I wish you guys the best of luck. I know it's very, very like difficult, and you guys are probably nervous and all of that stuff, but you guys will do fine. Study, study, study. And you know, dedication, determination is the key to success. So please guys, I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and if you guys have any questions and if I can answer them, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, and give this video a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed it. If you guys found anything helpful at all, it would really make me happy. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.